Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the Michigan Professional State Championships. We've made it to round 3, our lead card. It's the final race to see who can become state champion of this year's tournament. I am Zach O'Haron, joined with Sam. How you doing?
Hey, Zach. I'm really excited. We've got Luke at 22 under, Andrew Marwede at 19 under, myself at 17 under, and Gavin at 15 under.
That's right. And Gavin's first time on the channel. It's awesome to see him show up on a last day lead card. Probably feels good to be joining you guys on the coverage for our final round. And we're going to start off with hole 1, 325 feet. Pretty standard forehand hyzer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it plays a little uphill, so it's going to play a little bit closer to probably 340 or so. And really, you want to stay out of that rough on the right and then also not push
Good morning and welcome to the
straight.
third and final round of the 2024 Michigan Disc Golf Championships presented by Discraft. This is our lead card, and sitting at 22 under par, Luke Taylor.
If you missed the ending of round 2, Luke finished his round with what he believed to be a 5-stroke lead. Hole 18 was removed for rounds 1 and 2, so now the lead is down to 3, so it's much more of a race for this final round.
In second place at 19 under par, Andrew Marwede.
That it is, and Brewer is a very scoreable course, so that means if there's a 2-stroke swing, someone misses a putt, rolls away, then this could get real close real fast.
That's right. Marwede here.
Couple good-looking sidearms to start us
In
out.
third place at 17 under, Sam Smigiel.
You know, it's a little further right than
You think?
You know, off the tee pad, where we're just trying to skip it up there to get under the basket.
Yep.
So it's yeah, if you're ace running it, then you're gonna be like 40 past it if you miss.
Not if I make it. And just in.
That's true.
And
Safest place
finishing
for the
off
disc
the
is in the
group
basket.
at 15 under, Gavin Cunningham.
Gavin is a little more predominant backhand player. He's going to show us the backhand play here.
Yeah, backhand plays, but it's a more technical shot, as you see. He's able to sneak through there, but to get it to ride on anhyzer the whole way, can't hyzer out. It's a very specific line.
Yeah, I think it's much tougher to hit with that uphill angle that the slope kind of follows to kind of hit that and keep it there.
Yeah, good putt to start out Andy's round.
He continues the pattern of being close but still farthest from the basket.
And it's looking like we might have ourselves a star frame to start this out.
Hey, 2 for 2. Last round of this round. Hopefully we didn't just jinx us. Gavin gets his to go, which leaves us just you with our CTP. All right, everyone take a breath.
There it is.
Everyone take a breath. We're
got it.
1 hole in. We got a birdie. The race is active and live. We're going to move on to hole 2 now, 356 feet. Explain to everyone at home what makes this hole trickier than it looks.
Well, the initial gap is going to be a little intimidating, so you've got to, obviously, first goal is to get out the gap. It also plays a little bit uphill, and there's kind of always some crosswind, so you don't want to throw it too high. Like, the tendency is to throw it a little too high, nose up, that kind of stalls too far left. See, Luke turns his maybe a little bit too much. Yeah, doesn't quite make it back, but he's inside the circle or maybe just outside. Got himself a putt, but that's a good shot on this hole.
Marwede's taking the even tighter gap off the tee.
It's a tighter gap, but
You get that.
you kind of have a little bit of slope to the left, so he can throw it a little bit lower and kind of play the skip up to the basket. And I'm going to be joining Luke over on the right side there.
Circle 2 putt for you coming up. We got Gavin to bring up the end of the bus here, and he is going with a backhand here. It looks a little too turned over. He'll have a long look for his 2 opportunity.
Yeah, it feels pretty short off the tee pad when you end up where he's at, but you're always in position for a putt.
Sure. That one's going to hyzer out a little early on Gavin. He's going to have that left for his 3. See if you can get the putter warmed up early. Ooh, just a touch low that time.
A little low. That one felt good, just didn't
Yeah.
have the height on it.
Yeah. Oh, air ball from Luke. Not too common from him. He's had a fantastic putting year, especially from Circle 2 if you're looking up the GGPT stats for him.
Circle 2, Circle 1, he's really stepped up his putting game in the last 2 years. Really his entire game.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen that translate so many times now. He's made Chase and Lead Card out there on the tour, the Preserve, World Championships. We've seen him multiple times. He really has, like you said it correctly, he's just kept elevating his game.
It's right where you want to be.
Yeah. Reaching distance. All right, hole 3 now, 605 feet. It's kind of a forehand play if you've got that distance. The only real risk there is the road if you happen to turn it over too much, potentially. There's no OB line on the right side, so if you throw something on hand hyzer over the top, it won't go OB, but it will make that right side approach a little more difficult. Most pros are really liking this left side. Just throw it over the road and let it hyzer back with something stable.
Yeah, interested to see how Gavin takes this, if he goes aggressive or kind of dumps it between those two, kind of to the right of those 2 trees. That backhand play is a little bit more of a technical shot.
Yep.
Andy's taking the pretty stock hyzer sidearm. And Luke throws it just like he did on round 1 and round 2. That is pretty much where he was round 1.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Uh-oh.
wide.
This needs some help from the road.
Oh,
Ooh.
and that skipped off the grass. Wow.
Oh,
no.
It's weird to see it from the other end, isn't it?
Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah, I remember we were asking Donut because we were going to figure out if he needed to throw from back there or not, so we were asking for a signal, and he made the safe signal, and everyone's like, wait, really? Is that
Sure about
You
that?
sure? And then I think it was Nick Gill was walking up on the other fairway. He went safe, too, and we're like, all right, I guess it's safe. Got a little pinched up on that right side from Gavin. He's going to have a long look for a birdie opportunity. Here's Marwede with his forehand.
You know, this has got to feel pretty good for Andy. The first 4 throws of his round are going to be forehands. So that's got to be really nice for him to lean on something that he's confident in and he's, one of the best at.
Yeah, that's got to be really uncommon, like just in general, right? Just starting a round off with forehand, like
Yeah.
really, and not even just like, hey, I can make a forehand work, but like forehand is almost favorable in those 3 shots.
It is, and especially on a par 4, you rarely see a par 4 that is a forehand, and that's the play.
Yeah. Little high, little left on target, but not quite enough to stay in the basket there for Gavin. He's going to have a tap in par coming up.
And he got himself a little bit into the woods there, but not too much where he couldn't straddle out and make a putt.
I want to see the thing he can't straddle around. He's got such long legs to get around obstacles.
His legs look like they're taller than me.
He's in the background. It's supposed to look smaller. You got 2 out of the first 3 here, which is a good pace. Luke as well. Marwede's probably thinking he's got to do everything he can to be perfect just to give himself an opportunity because, as you mentioned, this course has a ton of birdie opportunities. Luke has looked dominant first round and second round, so anything short of perfection might not be enough. So he's trying to keep it clean.
Absolutely.
Hole 4, 786 feet. Sam, what's the danger here?
Danger, this first bush that we're passing right now, that bush is OB as well as the second bush. So you want to pick a landing zone between those bushes, either left side or right side. The drone is finding the left side gap. which you're going to throw a hyzer, probably backhand on your upshot, and try and stay inbounds. See, both that path and the road are going to be OB. Some people opt to take the right side gap. That makes for a little bit longer hyzer upshot.
And before the tournament, this round, it was clarified that it is OB, so everyone has the same rule book for them this hole, so this is going to count as their score for today.
Andy looks like he's opting for the right side gap, which I think plays a little bit safer on the second shot.
Mm-hmm. The left side shortens the distance a little bit, right?
It shortens the distance, and you're going to have an option of either throwing a forehand over out of bounds over the trees, or throwing a backhand through a little bit of a gap.
Yeah. Oh, you a little farther left than what you're looking to do? Or is that where you're going for?
Yeah, I was definitely looking to be left, but that's going to be too far left, where those trees are probably going to be in my line, so there may be a forehand there, or maybe just have to pitch something up.
Ooh, Gavin getting this one to turn. It looks like he's going for the right gap as well.
Yeah, getting a little bit more distance on it, too. That's a really well-placed shot. Man, look at Andy 30 feet in front of him.
Yeah, he's added a little distance to his backhand, and it's been showing as well when you watch him on tour.
This one, we have a little bit of a crosswind, so here I'm taking a mid-range, just trying to get it to definitely make sure that I drift back in bounds. Didn't want to drive her to hyzer out, and I'm going to be left with about 80 feet.
This looks pretty good from Gavin.
Yeah, a little skip. I'll put him in a really good spot.
Didn't quite flare, but it's still going to be circle's edge for him. Marwede now trying to apply the pressure.
I like the height.
Yeah, I like the angle too. And he's going to be in circle. Luke's been like in the same spot all 3 rounds. Like he's got this place pretty well dialed. This, however, looks a little inside.
Hyzering.
Yeah. Maybe a little short too. How far is it from that tree to the basket?
You're going to be just outside the circle, probably 35.
Here's your approach. Get yourself a tap in for par. Luke now from maybe 40 feet. Just a little too low.
Notice his pace was a little bit slower on that putt.
Just like that, it's a one-stroke game now. Oh, Gavin's much closer than I thought he was. Thought he was outside circle. Rude. Not going to get caught that time. Couple tap-ins here for par. We're going to move ourselves kind of swinging onto the natural first hole of the course here. It'll be our tournament hole 5. And these next couple holes are really must-get birdies for our card here. You guys have been made lead card. You guys have been playing well. These ones need to be executed. 274 feet for this hole. Forehand up and over. Now, we have a little bit of wind you mentioned on that crosswind for your second shot. Is that wind pretty relevant today, or is it a little less than it was the day before?
Absolutely. It's not any more than it was yesterday. Yeah, Saturday was definitely our windiest day. But this hole is always windy because you have to throw the disc so high.
Yeah.
And so the wind has a lot of time to take it. You see how far left Andy is going. He's going, 100 feet left of the basket. And if he didn't hit that tree, he was going to land right.
He needs more left. That bush is in the way.
I do like Gavin will probably throw a backhand on this, and he's going to throw that lower, and it's going to keep it out of the wind. Yeah, you see Luke pushed too far to the right, and that's going to be a challenging putt.
I would imagine in the summer at Plinko's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Ooh, this looks right.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be
Plinko.
inside.
Plinko. It's not too far in. You might have a putt.
Yeah, without all the leaves, you think there might be a bit of a putt in there.
Not always.
No.
Oh, a little friendly
That
kiss.
might be okay, though.
Yeah. All right, let's see where everyone ended up with their... Oh, you're a little farther back than I thought.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a low ceiling with those leaves, so yeah, just try to give it a little nose-up spin. Couldn't quite execute. Luke's going to be a couple steps closer. That's a good putt.
Gets him right back on track. He's going to maintain that one-stroke lead, at least that one-stroke lead, assuming Marwede makes his putt. Here's Gavin now with another birdie opportunity. Oh, putting woes continue for Gavin. He's had some opportunities, too. He's had a couple good shots, got him in position. Putter's not quite getting in the basket when he wants it to, though.
Yeah, and that can be frustrating when you're on the lead card and you know that you have to shoot basically perfect to, even have a chance. And, he hasn't done that. And, he's watched Andy, birdie 5 holes in a row now. And, Luke's playing well. And for it to settle in that early in the round that, you're probably not going to take this one down, it can be tough to really just lock into your game and just try to climb up the leaderboard once you can.
Right. Hole 6, 312 feet now. Again, plays as one of the easiest holes, this one, as well as one of the other ones we'll see on the back 9. I like the backhand play from Gavin, probably coming up on this one. You can throw a forehand with a good wind. I imagine we'll see Marwede do that. The big danger is if you go forehand on that left side, there's a couple trees, like branches that can get in the way. So you really want to finish farther to the right. You can see them hiding next to Donut. He's got them on the right side of the screen there. Ooh.
Nice run at the basket, nice roll.
No punishment for the ace run there. Gets the nice backboard, excuse me. Oh, this looks low and burned.
And Luke went with a bit of a slower disc there to try to control the right to left and just maybe turned his wrist over a little too much, as did I.
This needs to get moving. And you're going to have those trees in your way, just as I was talking about.
Yep.
Here we go, Gavin with the backhand.
This has got to flex back.
He'll have another long look for a birdie opportunity. I think the angle is fine. I think he just needed a more stable disc for that to swing back towards the basket.
Yeah.
Long range from Luke. Going to be just deep of the basket.
And with Andy sitting right under the basket, that's looking like we might have a tie game.
Hey-oh.
Look at that.
What branches? What trees? That's going to be our Disc Golf Threads replay of the round here. Look good, feel good, play good at your next event. Check out discgolfthreads.com for all your disc golf apparel. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I've got myself into position. I found a little gap between the trees, and all I had to do is just put it on a good line, and if I hit the line, it's going in.
Yeah. Spectacular putt from you. Gets you back on that birdie train, or starts a birdie train for you at least, hopefully. Luke taps in his par, and I might not have put it on my bingo card that Marwede is going to try to tie it back up within 6 holes, but here we are, 6 holes in, and he has recovered all 3 strokes that he's down by.
With a 3-stroke lead to tie it up on the front 9, I don't think Andy thought that was going to happen.
Correct. That's a huge momentum swing. Hole 7 now, 382 feet. This basket kind of tucks off to the right side. You can go the straight gap where the drone went with kind of a flex forehand, or you can go big forehand on hyzer on the left side, try to get it towards the basket. Do you see a lot of backhands on this hole ever?
Not often. I see some people throw a backhand, and taking the backhand up the middle is a pretty technical shot because you have to get a disc on hyzer that will flip the entire way. Andy looks like he's definitely made a correction off of the first 2 days, and stays out of those trees. But that backhand line, you can also take a wide backhand line, and I think that'd probably be the preferred route. And but definitely a tough shot.
Yeah. This looks really good from you. Inside circle, great shot. Here's Luke now. Oh, it's
Is
a
it a
lot.
stable disc?
Oh, captain's
Looks like
raptor,
it.
I think. Yeah.
Oh.
What? That would have been a momentum swing back in the other direction.
Oh, really easy or something? The heck?
Could you guys
I
even
don't-
hear that?
No, we had no idea that happened. I think as we were walking up, one of the spotters said something about it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we didn't know.
Gavin actually going with the backhand roller play. Gets him into circle's edge area. I don't
Yeah,
know if I've ever seen that before.
I like that play. If you can get through the gap,
Oh, come
then
on.
you're going to get yourself into some type of putting position. And
Capitalized.
what a way to get himself a birdie.
Yeah, hopefully he can carry that momentum on the putting green. Oh, geez, 2 for 2 from circle.
Are we going to have another star frame on this hole?
This doesn't feel like a star frame hole, but you guys...
It's typically not. All right, come on, Smigiel.
Okay.
There it is.
And that's going to leave us with Luke for his tap in after the near ace. I think he's probably talking to Donut about it right now, asking him, like, how close was it? Like, right in front of the cage. It was on line, too. Hole 8 now, maybe the most infamous hole in this course, 795 feet. It's a par 5. There's a Mando on the big tree on the left side. Your tee shot ideally is going to land in that dirt patch you see where the player is right now around the Mando in that corner there. And then from there you have a couple options depending on where you land. You can either go up the inside gap, the eagle route. You know, we're not supposed to call it that. I know you said we weren't, but it's the eagle route. Or you can go the birdie route, which is where the drone is going right now, land into the open space here where the leaves are, and then pick a route and kind of get to the basket for your birdie opportunity.
Tee shot is very key off this hole. If you don't have a tee shot that gets you into position to get over the hill on your second shot, then you're not going to birdie. Looks like Andy might be going inside gap, which is puts you in a great position. That is exactly where you would set your disc
Yeah.
if you could put it anywhere that you wanted.
This looks better. Good fade right in front of the man. Oh, man, 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Perfect, ideal drives from our first 2 players. Let's see if Luke can match that.
Luke's going with a faster disc, very overstable, opting to take the further outside route. It's a little bit more open and feels very confident hitting it on that line.
Ooh, this needs to come back.
Gavin, it's a little bit overturned. We'll see what he has there. Sometimes you have a shot through the trees. Sometimes there's, like this is nothing.
Nothing. And it's like, you almost want to question whether you just jump putt this, right? Because you just want to get into a good spot that your next shot's guaranteed.
I mean, what you throw.
Yeah, if you don't feel confident hitting the gap, then a jump putt to the landing zone would be ideal because you don't want to kick over the fence to his right, which is actually OB.
Yep. Get around it, yep.
And that'll be fine.
Yep, he's going to pump it out into the fairway up there. Huge shout out to the spotters and volunteers of this tournament because obviously with the foliage, or the leaves on the ground, we could lose discs pretty quickly, and they did a great job of spotting as well as clearing some spots for the tournament. So if you've ever out there helping for this event or any event, we appreciate your efforts immensely.
Yeah, they were great all weekend, especially on these 2 holes. They were a huge help. Discs can disappear pretty quickly under these leaves. I end up going a little bit inside, overturn that. Just trying to get that extra distance to maybe get an eagle.
Oh, this needs to be turned a little bit. Oh, there it
Hits
goes.
it on a little bit better line. I think just a little low. Well, no, maybe not.
Put there by the turn.
He might have caught a tree
Yep.
or something that slowed him down, because I thought he had enough power on that to get himself inside circle 2. Yeah, this is another one of those where you just kind of pick a gap and
Yep.
find a spot where you can get a putt.
You mentioned it in round 1 that the birdie is very doable as long as you're on top of the hill in 2. And even in your example right there, you weren't in the best position, obviously. You were farther back. But just being on top of the hill, how much of a difference does it make being able to see the basket when on your third approach and trying to get that birdie?
Oh, it makes all the difference. If you're not on top of the hill, you're just not going to birdie it. Because not only not being able to see the basket, but having to throw the disc up over the hill while the disc has to go down, that can be a very... Andy almost putting it in for a 3.
That again, momentum swings for these two. They're looking. Both of them at this point are trying to find that push. Luke's trying to regain control, and Marwede's trying to close the door.
And I'm going to leave that one a little bit short and tapping into par. Which now with Andy having a, within 15 feet for his birdie, that's going to be put me in a pretty tough spot, because now you've got Luke at 27.
Yep.
Andy's at 27. So I'm 6 strokes back. I've got to get some help at this point.
Yeah, they're starting to separate a little bit, and you're going to need, like you said, you're going to need a little assistance if you want to get back into this on top of playing well. And we'll see if we can get that in hole 9 here at 667 feet. The tee shot really has a couple of plinko trees here that the drone's flying around that you just got to avoid anything out into this space. Next to that dead tree or the stump on the left side is a great tee shot. And then from there, you just have to avoid that one guardian tree that seems to be pesky for my game on the left side there. I mean, if that was a basket out of 8, I would have thrown in a 2 like 17 times on this hole. But you guys are trying to avoid that. Use the hill to your advantage and try to choke up on an easy birdie opportunity here.
The key is to make it going through that gap, something going pretty straight. That's going to hyzer at the end. Andy shows us exactly what you want to do. Yeah, you can see all the weeds and brush off on the left. Kicking over there takes birdie pretty much off play.
We've seen even players have to go standstill roller.
Yeah, I'd hate to be that guy.
Luke getting an early kick here is going to be way farther back.
Yeah.
We'll see.
There's still an opportunity
Right.
there. There's some rollers, and he's got plenty of distance. Where
Yeah.
if he can find a line, definitely going to be a much more technical shot, though.
Get off of it. Yeah, get off of that one too. Yeah, this one's great. Ideal landing zone. And there's a couple gaps you can take. You can take a forehand on the left side, and there's a kind of a traditional backhand approach. But I think I may have said it. I don't know if you agreed or not. I like the forehand approach if it's available.
I agree. Now, Gavin's probably going to throw a backhand just because of his comfort, which is totally there. But
Yep.
the way that the green slopes to the left and just makes it just a little bit tougher shot for a backhand. See, Luke actually has a bit of a gap there, and he's
Here comes
really
that green.
well executed.
Yeah. Gets a little farther away because of that hill, as you mentioned, so he's going to be circle 2 for that putt. But great shot for giving him a birdie opportunity after being so far back.
Yeah, that's exactly where you want to be off of your tee shot, where you got wide open, nothing in the way.
Yeah. And as you predicted, here he comes with a backhand.
That's looking pretty good if it slows down. Oh, yeah.
Really nice. All right, Marwede. Maybe an opportunity to apply some pressure here if he can get really close.
Missed that last tree, and
He does.
yet another birdie.
That's going to be 9 through 9.
He's going to get the entire front 9, and this is a big putt for Luke. This is to keep pace with Andy.
Oh,
He's going to leave it just short.
it looks, again, you mentioned this earlier, his putt looks a little softer right now. It doesn't look as quite poppy in trying to like go at it.
Yeah.
But Marwede is executing the game plan here. He is perfect through the front 9 holes here.
Yeah, you can't draw it up any better than that.
How often does that happen? Just like in general with high-level pros, they get all 9 holes.
It's not often.
Yeah.
I mean, you're figuring even if you're going to get, even if you're going to shoot a 14 under par, you're going to have a couple pars in there somewhere.
Right.
And Andy's not doing that.
No, he's saying, I'm just going to birdie them all. And thank you again to our Patreon followers. Without your guys' support, we could not do what we do. So if you want to check it out there, that's a great opportunity to support us. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Sam, we have 9 holes left to go to declare ourselves a champion.
We got ourselves a game.